Hey there, guys. Welcome to Get Going Fast, the place where we get into this excellent hobby of AI and hopefully sort of a quick and efficient manner in which you might actually learn something. And yo, we are getting back into this Reactor face swapping stuff here. So, great feedback from y'all. I knew you guys were going to love learning how to use those nodes. And I've been having people ask me, say, well, like, Gary, how can I make a mask of this? How can I take multiple images and put them into one sort of thing so that I could get a really comprehensive image of the person? And I said, you know, I'm glad you asked, because there is a way to do that using the very things that we've already installed. And in fact, you were right, it's called a mask. And so I'm going to show you how to do that today. We're going to go into that. Really not a difficult process. It's going to be a two-step process. So we're actually going to create a blank workflow because we have to create our model. Well, actually, you know what? I take that back. I think we're going to do two things. We're going to make a blank one so that I'll show you how to just save it. But we're going to make another that is just going to flow like a stream, straight from a folder of images all the way to the output. And then you can create whatever you want, and at the end it's going to put the person on there. And of course, having used all of these different images to really make a composite, a more perfect composite. It's very exciting, very easy, and I think you're going to find it very satisfying. But before we do that, thank you so much for liking the channel, sharing the video with people, telling people about it, going to a theater, and before the movie starts changing, everyone, please have your attention. I want to tell you about Get Going Fast and AI and all this stuff. And I know people will really appreciate that, right? And it's better than watching the commercials sometimes before the movies. So thanks so much for doing that. It shows your commitment, and I truly appreciate it. Thank you. So we are going to move on. Thank you for checking out our Instagram, going finding us out on Reddit. You can find it, Reddit, we're going to treat you nice over there. They don't treat you nice, we'll treat you nice on Reddit. Finding us over on the X, coming over to the Discord and sharing with us what's going on, being part of our community over there. We like that. If you do find this helpful, you can hit that thanks button down there, send a super thanks. And I think you even join as a member. You get like a little badge next to your name, and then I go, yo, that person right there is badged up. And then when you talk, I can actually know it's you, and then I can respond right up, like, oh, my badge people. So thanks for doing that. Appreciate you all so much. Let's get into doing some Reactor face swapping, yo. Alrighty, so easy peasy. If you didn't watch our last video, you should go watch it. It's going to show you how to set up these Reactor nodes, okay? Real easy stuff. We'll still walk through it here, but you should go and do that because we're going to be needing to use them. And we're going to be doing this with ComfyUI. So ComfyUI, of course, is a really excellent way of workflowing. It's one of these things, you guys, I know it looks Greek, but you have to just kind of press through, and it'll eventually start to make more sense. And there's just so much that's done in it, you just can't get away from it. Okay, so it just is what it is. So we're going to go over here, and we're going to end up doing something like this. So you make this pretty gal over here, and then look at, we got Ella over here, got her face in. We didn't just do this from one image, we did this from like 6 images. So really going to be able to get more detailed views of a person. Going to be really easy. So what we will do here is let's pop over. I'm going to show you again really quickly how to get your Comfy Reactor nodes up. But first, I just want to show you what not to do. Okay, so if we click up on our manager, normally we can go here and kick our custom node manager. It's going to pop up this bad boy. And what we can do is we can just type in Reactor, okay? And it will bring this up, but you don't want this, okay? This is a nerfed version. This obviously is a safe for work version. It means it's a bit more restricted than the others. It's the sanitized version of this. So we don't really want this. What we want to do is yo boy it up over to here, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to type Reactor Codeberg. Okay, and we're going to find this from Yorif. And we're going to click like that, okay? Oh, okay. So Coburg currently unavailable for technical reasons. Okay, so for whatever reason, Coburg will be back. Okay, but what you would do is you would go here and you would grab the URL. Okay, so interesting that that's off, but that's fine. That'll be back tomorrow. Anyways, you would just grab the URL. You can also find it in my last video. And then we would pop on over to something like this. And we would go into our ComfyUI folder. Whoops. Clicking on the screen instead of the thing. Go click there. We go into here. Then we hit into our custom nodes. Okay. Then we go up here and we type git clone. Okay. And then we would paste in the URL. So obviously it's not working right now, but said it should be working tomorrow. So it'll be fun. But that's how you would do that. You would git clone that in there. Now, okay, so then after that, we're going to need to do one other thing. So we pop on back over to our browser here, and then we would go over to our manager, and we're going to install something called the KJ nodes from this guy named Kijai. Now, Kijai is just kind of legend with ComfyUI. He just makes so much stuff, and the stuff we use with WAN 2.1 and HunYuan, all these quantize stuff, that's all this guy Kijai. I'm not sure if he's from China or Malaysia or whatnot, but he's obviously very intelligent. Kijai, if you're ever watching this, would love to interview you. So reach out. I bet people would love to find out more about him. But anyway, you'll type it up here, KJ, and you see this, it says ComfyUI KJ nodes. Yo! So you would just click on that bad boy and then install it. And then it would go ahead, and what it would do is reinstall it. Then it would give you a reboot button. So you click the reboot, it would reload the whole thing, and then you would press the reload button on the screen here, and then you would have access to the. And then these are going to be important because what we're doing is we're actually installing nodes to be using. Okay, and nodes, of course, are the workhorse of ComfyUI. Okay, so all of these things, when we look at this, all of these things are nodes that we're using. And you're going to see some of this stuff that we're going to need to do, like this. We're going to put in this loads image. That's from Kijai. We're going to get that from him. So let's start here with a real simple way of basically what we're going to do is we're going to rebuild this. Okay, if you want to take a screenshot of that, go right ahead. Okay, let's see if we can do this. But we're basically going to rebuild this. Okay. So what we do, let's start up here. Just click workflow and let's just go to browse templates. Okay. And we're just going to click image generation. It's going to bring up our basic image generator. So I'll go ahead and I'll pick a model here, and we'll just say, let's do a person's face. We'll say a beautiful woman wearing a twirly helicopter hat. Okay, and we can hit Control Enter, and it will go ahead and create that. Okay, didn't get the little twirly hat thing, which I wanted, but whatever. So that's fine. So seeing every time we run that, it'll be a little bit different because the seed is changing. If we want it to stay the same, we could actually do fixed, and then every time we run it, it'd just be the same. It should be the same image. Yeah, see, every time we'd run it would just be the same image. So we put this over to randomize. Let's see what happens if we increment it by 1. Let's see how different it is. All right, so whatever. So you can play around with that. But what we want to do is we want to get a certain person's face on there every time we generate it. So that's where our reactor comes in, okay? But we already know that we can put one image on there, but what if we want to blend in a whole bunch, right? We want to put a bunch of a person to make sure we really get a good likeness. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to put those reactor nodes in there, but we're going to have to load from a folder instead. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click here, and after we've installed our Kijai nodes, we've installed our reactor, we're going to go add nodes, and we're going to go over here, and you're going to see it says KJ nodes. See down here, beep, 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 beep. We're going to click that bad boy. Okay. And then you're going to see it says image. Now, a lot of these, you'll notice a lot of these, when you click on them, they all have kind of similar stuff, and they might have image and da-da-da. So just a little thing to help you find stuff. But we go KJ nodes. we're going to go image, and then we want to look for this L. We're going to go, it's all alphabetized. So we're going to say load images from folder. Snap, okay? All right, so this means that we're going to take all of the folders, and notice it has an image output. Okay, so then that means we're going to be able to throw that into something. Now, we could just try to throw it into the reactor, but we actually it wouldn't work. We have to create what's called a mask. So what we're going to do is right click, okay? We're going to go back to our add nodes. Now we're going to go to our reactor, okay? And we are going to go, I think we're going to do build blended face model, I think is the one that we want, okay? So what we're going to do now, so we're going to have to put in a folder path here, but let's connect everything. We'll go images to images, okay? It's going to save it, okay? So that's good. We'll have to give it a name, so we'll just call it, we'll call this Ella, because we're going to do a thing about Ella P, okay? So press OK. Whoops. See, I didn't press enter, so it didn't save it. All right. Now, so we're creating our face mask here, our model, okay? Now we can go ahead, add our nodes. We'll go back to our reactor. Now we'll do the stuff that we know how to do before. So let's restore our face. Oops, actually, let's not do that. Let's get rid of that one. We're going to go to add node, and then we're just going to go reactor, fast face swap, okay? Now what we can do is we can grab this face model, throw it straight to here, okay? So these are the faces that we're going to blend. Then we can go back up here like we did before. Okay, so this is the way it works. Here's our model. We go in here, beautiful woman wearing a hat. It goes through here, goes to here, creates it here, and then it outputs it. So we want to catch the output, and instead of going straight to there, we're going to put it to here. Then what we can do, okay, is put that out there. So now, if we run something, well, not yet, but it'll run through here. It does the face swapping, okay? But we want to do a couple different things. First of all, we're going to need to actually create our face model. We've got to have images first, so we'll do that. But we also want to see what the normal one would look like. So this is going to here and then to here, so this will be the face swap. So let's click on here and right-click and go down here. It says clone. So we're going to clone that bad boy. And then watch this. I'm going to throw another one over here. So check it out. It's going to create it, and this will be the normal one without the face swap. This will be the one with the face swap. Okay? So we'll be able to compare them. Pretty cool, huh? So what we got to do is we've got to grab some images. So here's what I have done. Let's click on over to our File Explorer, so it doesn't really matter where you put this folder. So let's see here. So I think mine is in here. I just created a new folder, okay? And you see I got all these images. So all you got to really do is you just go to your browser, wherever you have your images, okay? I just went to images, and then you can type in whatever, grab these, and then you just drag them into your folder. Okay, so grab 5, 6, whatever you want. Grab, if you're doing your wife, your friend, yourself, whatever, just make sure they're all the same image, okay? And you throw it in that folder. But now here's the kicker. So we go back to our File Explorer. We got to get the location. So go up to here. You'll see it says desktop, workshop, whatever. You click here, and that's going to give you the full qualified folder directory. So just right click on it and copy it. That's all you got to do, okay? You just got to get the directory where the images are. Then we can go back to our ComfyUI, okay? And over here, under folder, we type Control V. And now we're going to press OK, and it's going to save it into there. Okay, so it's going to grab all of the images that are in that folder. It's going to throw it into here. It's going to make a face model. Okay, it's going to be a safe tensor. So I'm going to show you where it goes. Okay, but then it's going to use that face model as our source. So it's going to up here. It creates an image. It's going to put it into here, and then it's going to say use the face model. Now, before when we were doing this, what we did was we just loaded an image and we put it straight into source. But instead, now we're using face model. Okay, and we got to make sure that we go down here to face restore model, and we grab our code former. Okay, Now let's go ahead and run this again. A beautiful young woman wearing a twirly helicopter hat. Okay, so it's going to create this. And there you go. So there's the original, and there's the face swap. That's pretty awesome, huh? Okay, and that's obviously her. You can see she looks like she hasn't slept in a year, you know. So you can do that. I really want to get one of those. What are those hats called? Let's actually Chat GPT. Let's say Chat GPT. What do you call those silly hats that have a single propeller on them? Okay, they're just called propeller hats. Okay, so let's go back over and let's see if we can make one with a propeller hat. Control Enter. So it's going to go through there. It creates the original. And there we have her. Again, haven't slept in a week. Okay, so it's not quite making the propeller hat we want, but it's making the propeller hat we need. Okay. Whoa, hey-oh. So there you go. Same thing. You can see the face completely changed. So that's very pretty, right? And this works with any model. So you could do the same. You could go over here and let's do one of these. I think this is some kind of anime model. So let's go run that bad boy. And then there you go. So that works, okay? So now we have created a face model, okay? And it's actually creating that every time. But let's go find out. I'm going to show you a few different things here. We got a few more things to do. So first of all, let's go find out where that actually is stored at. So let's click over here to our File Explorer. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to wherever you, so usually what you do is you go to your ComfyUI, go into your folder, click your models, and then there's going to be a folder called Reactor, and then the one called Faces, okay? And then notice it created Ella.SafeTensors. So it actually took those models and it put it into its own little, it's like a LoRa in a sense, okay? It made its own little model based on those images. So that means we can load it up. So later on, if we're working with something, oops, dang it, hold on. Oh, I see what I'm doing. Man, I'm like clicking on the, I got to get this out of here. There we go. I'm clicking on the OBS software instead of the actual, good Lord. Okay. Okay, so now what we could do is let me show you. You could go right click here and we can go add node and then we can go to Reactor, and now watch, we can say load face model. Okay, and now if we click here, notice it's got different ones that we made. Okay, so actually notice it doesn't have our Ella there. So let's go ahead and reload. Now if we click on here, notice there's our Ella. So now what we could do is you can skip all this stuff. We could just run that to there. Okay, so that means so in other words, let's do a new one here. Let's go workflow. Let's go browse templates. Let's go image generation. Okay, so now instead of having to do all of that extra work that we did, we just click add node, Reactor, load face model. Now we can grab Ella. Okay, then we go back to our add nodes, Reactor, face swap. Okay, so now we do the same stuff here. Pull that down to there. Pull that up to there. Okay. Clone this bad boy. We don't have to do that, but that's just so we can see. Okay, and then we can say, let's grab a model over here, and we'll say, a beautiful woman wearing a business suit and Mickey Mouse hat. Okay. And so now notice it's going to go do all of this. And there we go. So that was the picture it made, and then there it is with the businesswoman that hasn't slept in a year. Okay, so there you go. Really easy stuff to do. And that means also when you're doing your other workflows, if you wanting to do it with your HunYuan or your Wan or your Flux models, same thing. So let me kind of scrounging here through, let's go here, grab our workflows. Let's grab a Flux workflow. So same thing here. There's our output image. So let's scroll this over to here. Let's put this over here. Add node. We're going to go Reactor, load face model. Okay, so we can grab Ella there, put her there. Grab our add node. Go to our Reactor and say Faceswap. Okay, so same things. The output is going to here, so let's put it to over here instead. Then we'll grab our face model, put it there. So see, this is actually even easier than the other way now. So go our face models, grab our code formers, and then out to images. So now we can go over here and say, beautiful woman wearing a I don't know, a fat suit with a tie. She's looking at the camera. So same thing. Now, got to make sure we got our right model on there. Let me make sure I got the right one here. There we go. Okay, so we hit that. It's going to roll through here. And Flux always takes a little bit longer to load stuff up. I encourage you, while we're waiting here, you could do a search for YouTube music. And then when you get there, do a search for Jim Day and the Better Stories, and you'll find all sorts of good music that I put together. It's always good to find new songs. You'll find different things that you like the Jillian Suite. This is great stuff.
It was more than casual strangers. It was more than merely a flame. It was more than a one-night stand. Darling, I embraced you, and you felt so good to me. My mind alarmed and my heart remained aloof. The hours passed by, lost track of the time. It was more.
All right, and popping back here, we can see it went ahead and made our image there. So that's a very good image, and you can tell that is our girl Ella. So real easy way. We're learning bits and more about this stuff. So kind of to go over what we did, if we go to our our original face models here, we went ahead, we loaded some images here from our KeyGI nodes. Okay, making sure that we put the folder in there. We ran it to this one that says build the blended face model. Okay, and we want to make sure the save mode is on and all that. And then we ran that out to the other. Now, if you wanted to just make a one that's just for saving stuff, like you don't need to deal with the images, all you have to do is click on workflow, go new. Okay, and then what you could literally do is just add these in here. We'll just do our KeyGI nodes, KJ nodes, image, load image from folder. Okay, there we go. And then we could just do this add node, and we could literally just do it like this. Go down to our Reactor, and we could say save face model. Okay, so this is a functioning one right here. So all you do is run it to here, make sure this is on, and then you give it a name, my face model. Okay, and same thing, you would just have to go back over, get your get the model or get the folder where all your images are at. Okay, and then if you run this, it'll save it. Okay, now it won't save it multiple times. It'll only save it to once. You'd have to change it for each different model, but this is a functioning workflow. And all you got to do then is just go workflow up here, click on export. Okay, doesn't really matter. And then it brings up a screen that looks like this. And just name it whatever you want to say it. My face model. Name it into a place. Okay, so that is actually a functioning workflow just like that. And then every time you want to make a image thing, you can just do it like this. But you don't have to do that. You could always just do it directly in your workflow like this. Just say, okay, I'm going to actually create the image and do it at the same time. But if you want to do a quick way, you want to make a whole bunch of them, make your own workflow and then just do this. And you can make a whole bunch of them. And then when you go in here, really whatever you want. These Reactor nodes are very powerful, very cool to use. And I'm certain that you will use them. Remember that with great power comes great responsibility, and something about calling you Padawan and all that good stuff. So, all right, well, there you have it, guys. Reactor taking face model. You could also, honestly, we didn't do it, but you could take several different faces, throw it in there, and it'll take a composite of the different faces as well. But we could talk some more about other stuff like that later. But go ahead and play with it. I'd love to see what you're working on. Send us your safe for work stuff, yo. And come on over to the Discord. Show us what you're doing. Talk with us. Hang out with us. Be cool with us, yo. Okay. So we're going to leave it there. Thanks again for being part of Get Going Fast. You guys are what makes this all worth it. I go to bed and my heart's warm thinking about each and every one of you. So you guys have a good night. Tell your mother you love her, and we will chat you on the other side, yo.